consideration of the 6th report of the Decentralized Funds Accounts Committee on the financial statements for the NGCDF accounts for 3 constituencies, and 4, consideration of comprehensive economic partnership agreement between the Republic of Kenya and the United Arab Emirates. Honorable Speaker, in accordance with the provisions of Standing Order 42A, 5 and 6, I wish to inform the House that the Cabinet Secretary for the Interior and National Administration, the Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, is scheduled to appear before the House on the afternoon of Wednesday, 30th July 2025 to answer to the following questions. Question number 063 of 2025 by the member for Rarieda, Honorable Otiende Amolo, regarding the reasons why peaceful demonstrators protesting against the killing of Mr. Albert Ojwang on Tuesday, 17 June 2025, were prevented from exercising their constitutional guaranteed right to peaceful assembly. 2, question 064 of 2025 by the member for Nairobi County, Honorable Esther Passaris, MP, regarding non-implementation of body-worn cameras for all police officers involved in arrests, interrogations, and custodial transfer of suspects. 3, question number 065 of 2025 by the member for Suba North, Honorable Millie Odhiambo Mabona, MP, regarding details on the number of people who have died in police custody in the last 5 months and reasons for their death in custody. 4, question 066 of 2025 by the member for Seme, the Honorable Dr. James Nyikal, MP, regarding psychological and mental health assessments undertaken by the National Police Service Commission during the recruitment of police officers. 5, question number 067 of 2025 by the member for Kathiani, Honorable Robert Mbui, CBS MP, regarding the status of drug and substance abuse in the coastal region and measures put in place by the ministry to combat drug and substance abuse across the country. 6, question number 068 of 2025 by the member for Mombasa County, the Honorable Zamzam Mohammed, MP, regarding circumstances under which Mr. Hassan Wasionga Ismail of ID number 39226153 was denied national identification card for over 4 years and his subsequent arrest for charges linked to an identification card he had never collected. And 7, question number 069 of 2025 by the member for Molo, the Honorable Kimani Kuria, CBS MP, regarding the state of security in the country and steps being taken by the ministry to avert deaths and destruction of property during demonstrations. Finally, Honorable Speaker, the House Business Committee will reconvene again on Tuesday, 29th July 2025 to schedule business for the rest of that week. I now wish to lay this statement on the table of the House. Thank you.
Thank you, Majority Leader. Requests for statements. Yes, Ondo. What's your point of order?
Direct to the Majority Leader. Honorable Speaker, there are quite a number of questions directed, statements and questions directed to the Cabinet Secretary for Treasury, some dating as far as February this year. I don't know when he intends to prioritize or invite the Cabinet Secretary so he can come and respond to those and other emerging issues. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The Cabinet Secretary for the National Treasury and the Cabinet Secretary for Education are scheduled to appear next after the CS Interior.
Okay. Your concern is addressed. Adan Kainan. Request for statement to agriculture and livestock. Statement dropped. Protas Akuja. Request to education.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to request for a statement regarding the recruitment process for the position of Deputy Principal at Turkana University College. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to provision of Standing Order 44.2c, I wish to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education regarding the recruitment process for the position of the Deputy Principal, Academic and Student Affairs at the Turkana University College. Honorable Speaker, on 28th February 2023, the Public Service Commission advertised a position for the position of the Deputy Principal, Academic and Student Affairs at Turkana University College. Subsequently, On 14 February 2025, the Commission published a report containing 19 shortlisted applicants, including the name of Professor Michael Okuruka Napo. The report indicated that the interviews will be conducted on 21st February 2025. However, on the day of the scheduled interviews, Professor Napo received a notification that the interviews had been postponed and will be conducted at a later date. Despite the communication, the Commission proceeded to conduct interviews without informing Professor Napo nor affording him the opportunity to participate in the interview. The Commission thereafter submitted a report to the Turkana University College Council pursuant to provision of the Section 35(1)(a)(v) of the Universities Act, Cap 210, forwarding names for consideration for appointment. The process, as undertaken by the Commission, raises serious concern on equity and fairness in the recruitment of the Deputy Principal at Turkana University College. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education on the following. A report on the circumstances under which certain shortlisted candidates, including Professor Michael Okuruka Napo, were excluded by the Public Service Commission from the interview process, and whether the Cabinet Secretary for Education was consulted as required under Section 35 of the University Act, Cap 210. 2. Immediate steps the Ministry of Education intends to take to review the recruitment process and ensure that all shortlisted candidates are afforded a fair and equal opportunity to be considered. And 3, measures put in place to ensure that future recruitment process within public institutions of higher learning uphold the values and principles of public service as enshrined in the Constitution. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Akuja. Education, Chairman. Taitumu. You're standing in for your chairman? Bring a response in 2 weeks. 2 weeks?
Yes.
Give him the mic to go on.
I'm saying that in 2 weeks' time we will be able to bring the report.
Thank you. Akuja, what is it?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair.
Which chair?
Honorable Speaker. Sorry.
Yes.
Honorable Speaker. The Departmental Committee on Education, there is a question asked last year, up to this date. That particular response has not been brought, and they mentioned 2 weeks. So there is laxity in this particular department. So I'm not very sure whether that response will be brought.
In 2 weeks, you bring the response
Mr.
to
Speaker,
the statement requested now and the pending one.
But Mr. Speaker, I believe questions that were raised 2 years ago have already lapsed. The time lapsed, but I believe we can provide
Abuja,
answers.
if it is, you say you requested when?
He is saying 1 year ago. That is what he is saying.
Is that so, Akuja?
Honorable Speaker, I requested a statement in December last year.
Hiyo ilikufa.
But because they take a lot of time to respond to this and they say 2 weeks and it takes
now
forever.
will not allow it, but you can go to the table office and resurrect your statement.
Okay, thank you.
Owen Bayer. Owen Bayer. Statement dropped. Musa Sirma. Yes, Hillary.
Thank you,
Are
Mr.
you purporting to present the statement?
On behalf of Honorable Musa Sirma.
Where is the written authority?
He's just gotten stuck in
You
traffic.
cannot be instructed on phone. The member who has requested for a statement must write to the speaker, and the speaker must approve that you be a legitimate proxy.
So,
now you are an impositor.
But because of the urgency, Mr. Speaker, you can.
I won't allow you. There's no exception to the rule.
Thank you.
Yes. If Musa Sirim arrives before we finish statement time, we will allow him. Mashua Waithaka. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding the impact of the recent rise in global oil prices on road construction projects across the country. Honorable Speaker, every financial year, the National Assembly appropriates funds towards the development, maintenance, and expansion of road infrastructure to enhance access to essential services across the country and support economic development. A key component used in road construction is bitumen, a petroleum-based product derived from crude oil. Notably, as of the 23rd June 2025, global crude oil prices had steadily risen, largely attributed to the escalating tensions in the Middle East. This has raised serious concerns about disruptions in global oil supply chains, which in turn has contributed to the rising cost of oil. There is a growing concern that these developments might adversely affect the timing implementation of ongoing and planned road construction projects in the country. This could lead to the lack of achievement of national development goals, hinder mobility, and limit access to critical services such as healthcare and education. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure on the following. 1, a report on the extent to which rising oil prices may impact road construction projects in the country, and 2, immediate and long-term measures being taken by the Ministry of Roads and Transport to cushion road infrastructure projects from the effects of increased oil prices. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Mashua. Chair, Transport.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
GK.
We'll respond in 2 weeks.
2 weeks, thank you. Honorable Zamzam Mohammed, Mombasa County.
Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44-2C, I raised request for the statement from Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding the safety of ferries operated by the Kenya Ferry Services. Honorable Speaker, ferry services are key lifetime for coastal residents as their significance goes beyond mere transportation. They serve as essential component of the region's infrastructure, facilitating economic development and promoting social integration. Thousands of Kenyans rely on ferry services daily to cross the Likoni and Mutembei channels. However, in recent years, the state of these ferry services, particularly at the Likoni and Mutembei channels, has declined significantly. This deterioration has led to increasing safety concerns, which members of the public consistently raising alarm on the poor condition of vessels, inadequate safety equipment, and frequent services disruptions. Honorable Speaker, following the Mutembei ferry tragedy of 1994, an incident that claimed the lives of 270 people, the government pledged to address the systematic issues that led to their disaster. Unfortunately, those commitments remain largely unfulfilled. The deterioration of ferry operations at the Likoni and Mutembei channel continues to pose a serious risk to the lives of Kenyans. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure on the following. 1. A report on the current operational status of the ferries in use at Likoni and Mutembei channels, including the safety audit reports conducted in the last 12 months. 2. The immediate measures the Ministry of Roads and Transport has undertaken to address the current state of ferry services at Likoni and Mutembei crossings. 3. An explanation on why the new emergency and safety equipment, including life jackets, life buoys, and all other essential tools ordered by the government, have not yet been delivered or commissioned, and indicate when they shall be deployed at the ferry terminals. And 4, the steps taken by the ministry to ensure modernization of ferry services and construction of alternative crossings to decongest and ensure safety of persons using the Likoni and Mutembei ferry crossings. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Amazamzam, Chair Transport, JK.
We will hear the response in 2 weeks, Honorable Speaker.
2 weeks, that's all right. You'll bring the response in 2 weeks. Kenan, I had dropped your statement, but now that you are here, I can exercise the discretion to restate it. Go ahead.
Speaker, thank you so much. The order paper was a bit misleading. It talks of Tuesday, but thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I used to request for a statement.
An apology is desirable. When I called you out, you are not here.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Request for a statement regarding...
An apology is desirable.
I said thank you, Mr. Speaker. I apologize for coming late.
Yes, good.
Request for a statement regarding the rehabilitation and development of hardened grounds and migratory routes in pastoral regions of northern Kenya, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Agriculture and Livestock regarding the protection, rehabilitation, and development of hardened grounds and migratory routes in pastoral regions of northern Kenya. Mr. Speaker, sir, pastoralism is not merely a cultural heritage, but a critical economic mainstay that sustains millions of livelihoods, particularly in northern Kenya communities. Despite being the economic mainstay, Mr. Speaker, pastoral communities face significant challenges, including unregulated encroachment on private or community land, inadequate infrastructure, limited land for agricultural expansion, and response-based conflicts. Mr. Speaker, these issues are fragmenting grazing systems and blocking migratory paths, thereby undermining food security, disrupting livelihoods, and exacerbating inter-community tensions in the region, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the survival and productivity of pastoralism in northern Kenya region depends heavily on secure access to grazing lands and well-established livestock migratory routes. These routes allow seasonal movement of herds in search of pasture and water and play a crucial role in promoting sustainable rangeland management by enabling rational grazing, preventing overgrazing, and reducing degradation of pasture lands. The routes also facilitate structured access to pasture during dry season, thereby reducing livestock mortality. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Agriculture and Livestock on the following. The measures being taken by the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development to identify, geomap, and gazette traditional migratory routes, communal hiding grounds, and pastoral zones in northern Kenya. These used to be there during the colonial time and used to do very well. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, the interventions being made by the ministry in collaboration with the county governments and relevant water agencies to rehabilitate degraded grazing zones and livestock holding grounds, improve water infrastructure such as water pans and kiosks along key livestock migratory routes. 3, Mr. Speaker, the mechanisms put in place to mitigate and resolve inter-community conflicts over grazing access lands, including strategies to ensure that traditional livestock corridors remain demarcated, accessible, and safe for seasonal pastoral movements, especially in border regions and non-conflict hotspots. 4, Mr. Speaker, the plans put in place to integrate the protection and development of migratory routes and communal grazing lands into the National Spatial Plan and County Integrated Development Plans, CIDPs, particularly within arid and semi-arid lands, with a view to securing pastoral livelihoods and promoting sustainable resource management. And finally, Mr. Speaker, an indication of whether the government has allocated funding or established partnerships with regional bodies such as the Intergovernmental Authority on Development to establish critical pastoral infrastructure such as fodder reserves, feedlots, livestock holding grounds, veterinary health outposts, and conflict early warning systems along key migratory routes. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Chair Agriculture. Any member? Ferdinand Wanyonyi?
I promise that we get into this the next 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Thank
Yes,
you.
Mr. Speaker. Because the committee is actually in
2 weeks, right.
Okay, good.
Is Owen Bayer in the house now? No. Musa Sirma? No. We go to requests. Richard Diagon? You look surprised. Ask this. You're gone. You are not ready? Oh, it's a response, not a request. Chair, Administration and Internal Security. I am aware that Honorable Tongoyo is hosting His Excellency the President in Narok, and he actually sent me a message that we put off your response to. Oh yes, he said Honorable Kapondi
Yes,
will be responding on his behalf. You are a member of the committee.
Yeah, correct, Mr. Speaker.
Go ahead, Honorable Kapondi.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I have a statement regarding the murder of Mr. Wesley Kipkemoi Bet in Mau. Honorable Speaker, the Member of Parliament for Bomet East constituency, Honorable Richard Yagon, requested a statement regarding the death of Mr. Wesley Kipkemoi Bet in Mau Forest along Bomet Nakuru Road on 30th of March 2025. The Honorable Member requested to be informed, 1, steps taken by the government on the matter of the murder of Mr. Wesley Kipkemoi on 26 March 2015 to investigate the case. Second, the progress of investigation in the circumstances surrounding Mr. Wesley Kipkemoi's disappearance and abandonment of his vehicle in Mau Forest, and whether forensic analysis was conducted on the scene. 3, a report on the whereabouts of Ms. Jacqueline Chepkurui as a person of interest identified by the family of Mr. Wesley as a key suspect in the matter, and the findings of the police on the connection, if any, with the disappearance and subsequent death of Mr. Wesley Kipkemoi. 4, whether Mau Forest remains a safe route for travelers and what security measures are being implemented to enable safety of road users. And 5th, measures in place to support families of missing persons during investigations, including coordination between different police stations and the role of forensic technology in identifying the tracking movements of potential suspects. I state as follows. 1, steps taken by government on the matter of the murder of Mr. Wesley Kipkemoi on 26 March 2015 to investigate the case. Honorable Speaker, on 30th March 2025 at approximately 1540 hours, Joylin Maritim, aged 29 years, reported an incident of robbery with violence at Tagich Police Station, documented under OB number 7/30/3/2025. According to her statement, she had boarded a motor vehicle registration number KCM 802B, a Toyota Probox, in Silibwet, Bomet County, bound for Kiptagich. Upon reaching a section of Mau Forest, the driver, identity unknown at the time, stopped the vehicle, forcibly pulled her out, and began to strangle her. In fear for her life, she surrendered her purse containing Kenya shillings 4,700, a Vivo phone worth Kenya shillings 28,000, and personal documents. Despite complying, the driver continued to strangle her and attempted to sexually assault her in the forest. Her screams attracted a passing border rider and his pillion passenger, who intervened and rescued her. The driver fled into the forest. The rescuers and the victim deflated the vehicle tires to immobilize it and reported the matter at the Tagich Police Station. Police officers led by the Officer Commanding Station, OCS, visited the scene and found the vehicle stuck in the mud and stagnant water off the Bomet-Kiptagich Road. The vehicle was processed and towed to the station. The victim was taken to Kiptagich Health Center, treated for injuries sustained during the assault, and later discharged. On April 1st, 2025, following the driver's disappearance, his family members and members of the public initiated a search within the Mau Forest. They discovered the lifeless body of a middle-aged man lying on his back beneath a tree. A rope with a knot was found hanging from the tree just above the body. Police officers were notified and reported promptly. Upon examination, the body had visible strangulation marks around the neck and fresh head injuries. A Huduma card found at the scene identified the deceased as Wesley Kipkemoi Bet. The family confirmed the identity. Personal effects recovered from the deceased included Kenya shillings 2,850 in cash, a motor vehicle ignition key, and a batch of assorted keys. The scene was documented and processed. The body was moved to Longisa Sub-County Hospital morgue, where post-mortem examination established the cause of death as asphyxiation due to strangulation. Preliminary investigation were conducted by Kiptagich Police Station, and the case file was forwarded to the Directorate of Criminal Investigation, DCI, Narok North Sub-County. 2, the progress of investigation into the circumstances surrounding Mr. Wesley Kipkemoi's disappearance and abandonment of his vehicle in Mau Forest, and whether forensic analysis was conducted on the scenes. Honorable Speaker, following the incident, the crime scene was processed and documented by the crime scene investigation team, and investigation immediately commenced via an inquiry file number 10/2025. Statements were recorded from several key witnesses and individuals connected to the case. The case remains pending under active investigation with no breakthrough made so far. The Directorate of Homicide is currently handling it. Third, a report on the whereabouts of Ms. Jacqueline Chepkurui, a person of interest identified by the family of Mr. Wesley as a key suspect in the matter, and the findings of the police on the connection, if any, with the disappearance and subsequent death of Wesley Kipkemoi. Honorable Speaker, it is important to clarify that the initial complainant in this case is Ms. Joylin Maritim and not Ms. Jacqueline Chepkurui, as indicated in the reference parliamentary question. Given the circumstances surrounding the events of that day, Ms. Joylin Maritim is considered a person of interest in the ongoing investigations. However, she has been fully cooperative with the investigators and remains available whenever required. Statements have been recorded from all key individuals, including Ms. Joylin Maritim, the first respondent at the scene, family members of the deceased, and the police officers involved. The post-mortem examination confirmed that the case of death was asphyxiation due to strangulation. The body was discovered under a tree with a rope fashioned from tree bark hanging above, suggesting a possible suicide by hanging. Fifth, whether Mau Forest remains a safe route for travelers, and what security measures are being implemented to ensure the safety of the road users. Honorable Speaker, in light of the reported incident and assorted security concerns, concerted efforts have been made to enhance the safety of Mau Forest as a travel corridor. Recognized as a vital link between Bomet and Narok counties, the route now enjoys increased police patrols aimed at deterring criminal activities and improving surveillance. Through coordinated efforts between the police and local communities, significant progress has been made in bolstering the security of road users. The following security measures are being implemented to ensure the safety of road users. A, patrols and spot checks have been intensified by officers from Giptagich Police Station and Narok North Sub-County, particularly in areas identified as vulnerable. B, police checkpoints have been established along forested sections to monitor vehicles' movement, deter criminal activity, and facilitate the inspection of public and private transport. C, collaborative efforts have been strengthened between the police and local stakeholders, including border operators, community leaders, and residents, to promote timely sharing of security-related information. D, public transport operators within that transport corridor have been sensitized to report suspicious individuals or behavior and are encouraged to affiliate with registered circles to enhance accountability and prevent infiltration by criminal elements. E, travel advisories have been issued to warn the public against late-night travel through the forest areas, with passengers strongly advised to journey in groups and during daylight hours for added safety. Fifth, Mr. Speaker, measures in place to support families of missing persons during investigation, including coordination between different police stations and role of forensic technology in identifying the tracking movements of potential suspects. Honorable Speaker, upon booking of a formal missing person report by relatives or other concerned parties of the victim, the police immediately draft a signal containing the description and relevant details of the missing individual, which is circulated to all police stations and formations across the country to facilitate a thorough and coordinated search. Further, the police analyze the individual's communication history by obtaining call data records from the respective mobile service providers. This information helps determine persons' last known location and identify individuals they last communicated with, providing crucial leads for the investigation. Throughout the process, the family is kept informed at every stage, ensuring transparency and support as efforts to locate the loved one continue. Honorable Speaker, I submit.
Yegon, are you satisfied with the answer?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you for the response from the Security Committee. Mr. Speaker, I fail to understand the findings of the committee, because they have not even mentioned the name of the two border guys who were found, who was alleged to have gone and rescued the lady. And again, Mr. Speaker, it was alleged that 4,700 shillings were stolen from the lady, or from the victim, the alleged lady who were accompanying the deceased. And upon searching the deceased, when he was found, 2,850 shillings was found in his pockets. And mark you, Mr. Speaker, this gentleman never went anywhere. It just some few meters away from where the vehicle was found. And the police are mentioning again about a different name. One Joylin Maritime. And since I also try to get to know the information, because the people, the members from my constituency went to search for this gentleman who was found dead. I understand they got an identity card for one lady called Jacqueline Jepkirui. So I don't know where this Joylin Maritime came from. So, Mr. Speaker, I think I need further serious clarification, because the family going through a lot of problems, and they want to know the real, what really went through, what happened really until their kin passed on. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Kapondi, do you have any response to that?
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I think it is very clear to our colleague that the case is still active. So any information that he may have can still be channeled to the DCI in Kiptagich because the file is still open. So it is not yet concluded. So the honorable colleague should just be patient. You will have a very conclusive answer later.
Thank you. Honorable members, before we go to the next in the speaker's gallery, I acknowledge Muhoroni Furaha, I believe it's a school, Muhoroni Kisumu, All Pusimoru Secondary School from Narok North, Narok. In the public gallery, AIC Academy from Baringo North, Baringo. Ilengi Secondary School from Kitui South, Kitui. Saverian JSS from Kisumu Central, Kisumu. Kakululo Primary and JSS from Mwingi West, Mwingi. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome the students and their teachers and those accompanying them to the House of Parliament. Next, a request by Julius Taitumu. Is Julius in the house? Yes, Julius. I'm told if Obara is responding. Orero from Committee of Education. Orero, you have authority from your chairman. So yeah, both of you are saying yes. Is it if Orero? Go ahead, Honorable Orero.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is a response to statement by Julius Taitumu on promotion of teachers. It is a report by the TSC detailing the number of teachers per county, names, TSC numbers of teachers promoted per county, and the promotional cadre for each teacher, and the school where each teacher is stationed. The Commission is competitively promoted 25,252 teachers during the financial year 2024-2025. Now, the promotion exercise was guided by the principles of public service under Article 232 of the Constitution and in consideration of, among others, equity and inclusivity and the available vacancy per grade. Now, the data for the 25,252 promoted teachers per county is shown under Appendix 3A and B, which is at the back of this paper. Appendix 4 highlights the names and TSC numbers of teachers promoted each county, the position of the cadres to which the teachers were promoted, and the school where each teacher is stationed. 2, an explanation of the criteria used in the promotion, including the basis for distribution across schools per constituency and per county, and any affirmative action considerations. Now, in a bid to ensure that promotions are based on merit, the Commission has established a standardized scoring system used to objectively assess candidates during promotion interviews, and the scoring criteria includes: 1, acting institutional administrators. Now, special marks are allocated to teachers who took on acting roles or performed administrative duties, such as principals, head teachers, deputy principals, and deputy head teachers positions, etc. However, the duration of time spent in these acting roles significantly influenced the allocation of marks. Now, teachers who have acted for a longer period perceive or receive more marks compared to those who have served for shorter duration. Now, this aims at acknowledging the level of responsibility handled by teachers during their acting tenure. Now, to teacher stagnation. Now, those teachers who have stayed in one grade for a longer duration earn higher scores compared to those who have shorter period in their current grade. Now, the criterion aims to recognize and reward teachers who have demonstrated commitment and dedication by the remaining in the same grade for an extended period. Now, 3, rating on teachers' performance appraisal and development, popularly known as the TPAD. Now, teachers with higher scores on TPAD receive higher overall scores in the promotion evaluation. Now, this criterion aims to ensure that teachers who consistently excel receive appropriate recognition and rewards for their efforts. For the age of the teachers. Now, teachers in the age bracket score higher compared to those in younger age group. A tiered approach is employed to differentiate scores based on age ranges. For instance, now teachers who are 50 to 54 years could receive lower marks compared to those aged 55 and above, but higher scores compared to teachers in the age of 45 to 49 years of age group. Now, this approach acknowledges the value of experience and maturity in teaching, recognizing the contributions of senior teachers. Now, 5, involvement in games, drama, and music. The criteria is based on involvement in games, sports, drama, and music. This involves assessing teachers' achievements and contribution in the co-curricular activities at different levels of competition. Now, teachers who have guided learners to the international level of games, sports, or music competitions are normally scored highly compared to those who guided the learners to succeed at national level competition. Now, 5, Mr. Speaker, the distribution of promotion vacancy is based on existing vacancy at a different level. Now, pursuant to Article 56 of the Constitution and in an effort to enhance inclusivity, the Commission leverages on the following affirmative action measures. Now, these are, Mr. Speaker, 1, gender representation in school administration. Now, the Commission endeavors to post female teachers to head girls' schools so as to act as role models and provide leadership that aligns with the unique needs of female learners. Now, further to this, the Commission strives to maintain gender balance in posting of heads of institutions for mixed school. Now, 8, affirmative action for persons with disabilities, that is PWDs. The Commission has implemented its policies directive to achieve at least 5% representation of teachers with disabilities in every promotional circle, ensuring compliance with national disability inclusion frameworks. Now, to this end, the Commission promoted 1,275 PWDs teachers, translating to 5.049% of the total teachers promoted in the year 2024-2025. Now, the other factor is progressive promotion in ASL and hard to staff areas. Now, pursuant to the provision of Clause 9.3 of the 2021-2025 CBA, the Commission progressively promotes teachers in ASL and hard staff areas holding administrative position until they attain grades that are commensurate to their respective position. Now, the other question, Mr. Speaker, was about measures put in place by the Teachers Service Commission to ensure future recruitment and promotion exercise uphold the values and principles of public service as enshrined in the Constitution. In discharging its mandate, the Commission endeavors to apply the values and principles of public service enumerated under Article 232 of the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, sir, specifically in recruitment and promotion of teachers, the Commission has put in place the following strategies to ensure the process is transparent, fair, predictable, where applicable. 1, alignment with legal and regulatory frameworks. The recruitment and promotion process strictly adheres to Code of Regulation of Teachers, the Career Progression Guidelines, and the Policy on Selection of Appointment of Institutional Administrators. The scoring criterion aligns with Regulation 73 of court by scoring teachers on performance, seniority, and experience, academic qualification, merit, among others. Madam Speaker, further in line with clause 9.3 of 2021-2025 CBA, the Commission promotes teachers in ASL and hard stuff areas on affirmative action. Now, the alignment to legal and regulatory frameworks provides the foundation for fair, transparent, and predictable recruitment on promotion practices. 2, Madam Speaker, automation of teacher recruitment and promotion process through teachers' online system. Now, this digitized system will provide a platform for online application for advertised promotion vacancies, shortlisting, and notification of the interview outcome and generation of promotion letters. Now, automation of this process not only eliminates human error, but also enables the teachers to track the status of the application in real time, thus fostering transparency and fairness in the promotion process. Number 3, Madam Speaker, development and use of standardized evaluation criteria. Now, the Commission has developed a standardized scoring criterion used during interviews to assess candidates objectively. Now, this criterion encompassed various factors as performance appraisal, institutional leadership, experience, age, and contribution to academic excellence. Now, this vigorous evaluation process is designed to prioritize meritocracy, ensuring fairness and consistency, while minimizing potential favoritism and biasness. Madam Speaker, the 4th one is publication of vacancies and results. Now, vacancy announcements are publicly advertised through the print media and the TSE website, ensuring transparency and enabling wider dissemination of information. Now, the advertisement specifies specific advert requirement, ensuring that teachers fully understand the qualification and the timelines required. Madam Speaker, additionally, the Commission publishes the list of all successful applicants on its website to enhance transparency in the recruitment and promotion process. 5, common cadre promotion. The Commission has established predictable promotion policy that provides for the automatic progression of teachers serving in common cadre grades without the need for competitive interviews. Now, this policy applies to the following categories. That is the P1 holders, that is teachers appointed to grade B5 and eligible for automatic promotion in grade C1 after serving a minimum of 3 years, subject to satisfactory performance. 2, diploma certificate holders, teachers serving in grade C1 are eligible for automatic promotion to C2 upon completion of 3 years of service, subject to satisfactory. Now, lastly, the bachelor's degree holders, teachers serving in grade C2 qualify for automatic promotion in C3 after 3 years service, subject to performance. Madam Speaker, I submit. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Sunkuli, what do you want to say?
Oh, sorry, there is the one out there.
It's okay, Honorable Sunkuli can proceed because he got my attention first. We'll come to you.
Madam Speaker, my attention is really on these promotions of from C1, from C2 to C3 to C4. And I'm wondering, because this is affecting us, especially in Transmara. Because when you look at it, there are no head teachers who can come from Transmara because the promotions are not happening. So we are importing teachers from outside to come and head our schools because of these promotions that are lacked. Can the committee consider doing action, affirmative action, so that these other people can also benefit and be promoted to to C4, from C4 to D2? Because if you look at it, the most qualified teachers now are in C4. It will take them 12 years to reach D3 to be able to be promoted to be head teachers. This is an issue that we need to address seriously.
Member for Igembe North, he has enriched your question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. What the member has given us is just scholarly and theoretical argument, because if you look at the folder behind, there are no names of the teachers promoted in various cadre. But I want to believe, since question number 3, you have said that in future you will adhere to the principles that are set during interviews. I may indulge you, but the answers are superficial. They does not contain what the questions are required.
Do you want to say something, Mwalimu? Okay.
Daktari, it is Mwalimu, not Daktari. Thank you, Madam Speaker. One thing which is clear is that the person who asked for this is also from Education Committee. And he knows how far this has gone. So he is at variance with this question, because this question was before the Teachers Service Commission, was called again in our committee to give the details of the names and the places and the grades also that these teachers have, and it brought to a stop this question because the committee was satisfied with the answers from the Ministry of Education. But I promise that as we go back, we'll ask the ministry to again go into details and give the names as my colleague is asking. So I hope that as we move with him again in the committee, we will be together to remind the ministry to bring it forth. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Milama, what is your point of order?
Honorable Speaker, I'm so disappointed with my colleague Mwalimu Morero and also the questionnaire or the seeker of the statement, because the promotion issue was a very thorough issue, and even the trade unions asked for the list of those who were promoted. And when the Honorable did ask the question, I was in this house and I was very happy and proud that finally the list will be seen, because Parliament is the place where, and through the Committee of Education, where we can get the lists, because teachers did not believe in what they were seeing. In your statement, you seem to indicate that the list is attached at the back. For only Honorable Member to indicate that there's no list, and after your answer, you seem to say that you had agreed outside the circles of Parliament that the list is not necessary, and all of you agreed that there's no need for the list, which we were waiting for, courtesy of your committee as the Committee of Education, because we were equally relying on you. So therefore, Honorable Speaker, I would want to kindly ask you that you order the Committee of Education, which has been doing very well on issues of education matters, including these promotions, because I know the bit they did to try and fish out the fake promotions that were there, that they bring the list not for the sake of their committee, but for all Kenyans and the teachers of Kenya. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Okay, I'll give you one last chance to respond.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think my colleague Omboko Mulemba, who is also a long-serving educationist and still the chair of KUPPET in this country, knows very well that he has taken me out of context. We did not say, and I never said that we sat separately somewhere. Not really. I said that as Education Committee, we insisted on this, and we sent the Teacher Service Commission to go and get the list for those who are promoted. We even revoked those who were promoted within the 3 years. So I say that as Education Committee, we will be able to ask for this list and table it here in Parliament. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
So therefore, to conclude this matter, then you should go the way of getting the list. We can move to the next question. The next statement to be responded to. The request was made by Honorable Mashua Wathaka of Kiambu. And I think sports and culture chairperson told me that there is someone from the committee that's answering on his behalf. Who is it? You may proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I just want to respond to a statement pursuant to National Assembly Standing Order number 44-2C in reference of a letter made to us as a committee. I'm responding this on behalf of our chairman, Honorable Dan Wanyama. My name is Honorable Mule, a member of Sports Culture Committee. Madam Speaker, we got a response.
Mule, just allow me to recognize 3 schools. Then when you finish your response, you can welcome the schools before they end up leaving. In fact, 4 of them, because we realize today there's a big group and some are leaving before we recognize them.
Okay.
So I'd like to recognize the following schools which are seated in the public gallery. Itibo Boys Primary School from Kitutu Chache constituency in Kisii County. Sagero Baraton School from Chesumei constituency, Nandi County. St. Martin's Matu School from Matungulu constituency, Machakos County. And seated in the speaker's gallery is Malezi Bora Academy School from Kajiado North constituency, Kajiado County. Don Bosco Boys School from Bomachoge Chache constituency in Kisii County. You may proceed, Honorable Mule, and then you'll welcome these schools on our behalf.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. First and foremost, I want to welcome the young generation to this august house. I want to encourage the young people to take their education seriously. I know on the gallery is one of my schools which we support, Matu Secondary School from Matungulu constituency. On behalf of all the members in the August House, we welcome you to this house to follow up the proceedings. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I just want to proceed with the response as we received it from the ministry regarding the letter which was done to us by one Michael Karaga. Honorable Speaker and distinguished members of this House, it was a pleasure by the departmental committee to receive a letter regarding the sponsorship of Michael Kingara, a top amateur golfer, as the letter was dated 11th June 2025. Introduction. Michael Kingara is a 30-year-old Kenyan golfer amateur, has distinguished himself on the international stage through consistent performance and dedication. He is ranked 64th position in the world amateur golfing ranking. He is ranked number 3 in Africa continent, and is the ranked secondly nationally in Kenya. Michael explained Mr. Michael, a Kenyan talented and resilient in sports of golf with an impressive handicap of +2.5, which underscores his skill as a top amateur golfer globally. Michael developed a passion for golf at an early stage, and which I want to encourage quite a number of young people also to follow the steps of Michael. His relentless pursuit of his excellence has seen him participate in numerous national and international tournaments, steadily climbing the ranks and gaining recognition both locally and abroad. Madam Speaker, recent performance and financial recognition for Michael. Michael won 13 out of 28 events in the national calendar, making him the best ranking amateur in Kenya in 2024. His dominance in the national amateur scene highlights his constant skill and dedication. He was sponsored with the Sports Persons of the Year in the Sawyer Award 2024, recognizing his outstanding contribution to Kenya sports and his exceptional performance in the tournament. He has participated in the British Amateur Open 2023-2024, Ghana Open, Egypt Open, Rwanda Open, internationally in Paris, in Portugal, Africa Region Tournament, Victoria Cup, and the All African Golf Team Championship. His participation to the tournament was supported by the Kenya Golf Federation, KGF. Michael benefited significantly from the Kenya Amateur Golf Championship Series organized by the Kenya Golf Federation, KGF, earning over 1.4 million Kenya shillings in 2024. In 2025, he has accumulated close to 0.5 million. This earnings reflects his growth success and the Federation commitment to recognize and rewarding talents in the line of Talenta Ella initiative, which aims to provide platform for the talent recognition and development. 1. Plans in place by the Ministry of Youth and Creative Economy and Sports to sponsor Michael, noting that he has consistently performed well and he has potential to represent the country on global scale. The response from the ministry is that the Sports Act 2013 and Sports Registrar Regulation 2016 requires that professional sports personnel register with the Sports Registrar. In addition, the Public Finance Management Regulation 2018, Sports Act, Sports Arts and Social Development Fund requires registration of professional sportsmen or persons seeking support from the sports funds, which is Sports Arts and Social Development Fund. Madam Speaker, the ministry, in partnership with other corporates through the Kenya Golf Open and Kenya Ladies Open annually, national teams selected by the Federation to represent the country in major series and tournaments are also supported. This includes all the African Golf Championship, African Zone 5 Championship, among others. Michael has benefited as a member of the national golf team supported by the Ministry of Sports. In view of this, Ministry confirms that through the State Department of Sports and Kenya Golf Federation, the government has been a cornerstone of Michael development, offering comprehensive support that encompasses training, international exposure, and financial backing. This support has contributed to his impressive ANCAP of 2.5, making him one of the top amateur golf player globally. 2, a report by the ministry on the sports person currently being sponsored by the government, including the specific sports they played in and the criteria used by the government to sponsor sportsmen. The ministry works closely with 138 national federations responsible for the development of their respective sports. This federation addresses the sporting requirement of sportsmen at the individual level, club, team, technical personnel, and county association level. The ministry has a criteria for funding that guided federation in their application for the support. The sports federations are aware of these guidelines and are required fully comply to the consideration. In the financial year 2023-2025, the ministry sponsored 43 national teams to represent Kenya in international events. Additionally, 11 events were hosted in the country. These sportsmen, which include men and female, and people living with disabilities, are drawn from a diverse section of the sporting disciplines within the country. The criteria used for consideration of funding requested include compliance with the Sports Act 2013 and the Sports Registrar Regulation 2016, compliance with the Public Finance Management Sports Act and Sports and Social Development Fund Regulation 2018, provision of calendar of activities 6 months before the start of the financial year, proof of strategic plan, declaration of other source of income, confirmation of invitation to international events, contribution of the events to Kenya ranking sporting activities. The second query to the ministry's measures, the measures the ministry has put in place to sponsor sportsmen in the country who have shown promise in the various categories. Madam Speaker, the minister would wish to respond as follows. The State Department mandate and programs aims at promoting talent through identified nurturing and development to ensure that athletes earn from their talent. Talent camps organized during school holidays by the Kenya Academy of Sports in partnership with the Sports Federation is one of the key programs that contributed to the promotion of these talents, which includes the one we are talking about, Madam Speaker. It is important to note that the support to the sports person is done through their requirement of sports person at the individual level, clubs or teams or technical personnel or county sports association. The government wishes to support the upcoming talents, but due to resource constraints, it is not possible. The ministry encouraged the leadership of Sports Federation to encourage corporates and other partners to support promising talents like Michael. In conclusion, the ministry, in partnership with the Kenya Golf Federation, is committed to support the hosting of tournament and the national golf team to nurture and develop the tournament talent, to develop the golf talent, to only nurture and develop the talents, but also to accord opportunities for the golfers to earn from their talent. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Signed as a response by Honorable Sam Vuria, Cabinet Secretary Sports.
Honorable Member for Kiambu.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I've heard the response from the Honorable Member representing the Chairman of Sports. Now, according to Michael Karanga says that all the sponsorship or any benefit that he has gotten has been from well-wishers, and that the government has not helped him in any way. And if so, if the government claims to be sponsoring him in any way, if the government, or if we can get some vouchers or receipts to show the same, because he believes that he has been overlooked as a great talent in this country. Number two, Madam Speaker, Michael Karanga says that whenever he's going out, him and his members of golf fraternity, they are welcomed by the Minister for Sports and given the national flag, and they go out of the country, and when they return, there is nobody to welcome them back and receive the flag. Madam Speaker, I recall about 2 weeks ago, we saw arguably one of the greatest 1,500 meters, Faith Kipyegon, and the lady who runs the 5,000 meters, Chebet, come back, and they were honored by the government by being given 5 million each. So Michael Karanga thinks that he has earned this kind of, he's a champion in this country. And he thinks that he should also be accorded benefits. because he has greatly honored this country, Madam Speaker. So I'm not satisfied with the response that I've gotten from the chairperson of sports, and I would want a further review. I submit, Madam Speaker.
I think because there seem to be a disconnect between what has been given as the response of the Minister for Sports and what the Member of Parliament representing the athlete has said, then maybe it's better that this goes back to the committee so that you can have an audience. The sportsman can have an audience with the committee in the presence of somebody from the Ministry of Sports so that you can resolve it. But I do know that it was in the order paper a few days ago where there is to be a policy, and I think Parliament, the House is deliberating that, to ensure that there is a methodology or a criteria and various amounts to be given to athletes depending on their performance when they represent the country. So I think that can be a larger issue to be discussed for all types of sports persons, so that there is not that one type of sports is favored over another. I know that there is also challenges of some being paid more than others, but if we deal sports person by sports person, we'll not be solving the global problem. We'll be dealing with it as a case-by-case basis. So I think we can get to conclusion with it that way. Honorable Irene Mayaka, I know we support the girls' rugby team together.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, not to preempt debate on the motion that you're talking about that is due to come for debate here on supporting of talent. But I just want to say the issue that the Honorable Member brings up and so many other involving our amateur sports person is something that we really need to take into consideration, because we do have the Talanta Academy, but also we need to know in terms of the policy that they already have, if they're also taking into consideration our amateur talents that we do have, and what and also just the specifics in terms of the kind of support that they get, so that we don't have sporadic situations and situations where one person is supported in this particular way, another one in a different way. We ought to have a proper structure of how we manage our amateur sports persons. Thank you.
The representatives of the chairperson, Honorable Mule, just make sure that the chairperson actions that, so that you actually convene a committee meeting to look at it globally. Do you have anything else to comment or assurance?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As a committee, we are glad we are guided, and I want to the next meeting we invite the honourable member representing the sportsman. But I want to assure you, Madam Speaker, as a committee, we are aware of those disparities, and we are working with the ministry and the different departments and federation to make sure that at least this country we get a clear, harmonized way of remunerating all our sportsmen, not only in golf, in athletes, in sport, in football, and all the other fields, Madam Speaker. And I want to give the honourable member the commitment. He better, once we engage with him, we'll definitely get a way forward, and also call the minister and the team to come and give proper guidance to Mr. Michael. I believe, Madam Speaker, with all due respect, this is one of our sportsmen we need to nurture and support so that he can reach the levels of Tiger Woods and the rest globally. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, honourable members. We can now go to the statement as requested by Honourable Amina Munyanzi, MP for Malindi. Is she here? It was supposed to be responded to by the Transport and Infrastructure Chairperson, but if the owner of the statement is not here, then we shall pass. So that takes us to the, I think with the permission of the Speaker, Honourable Sirma, your statement will be answered to. Yes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I wish to apologize for having come late before when I was called.
You had requested a statement, isn't it?
I'm requesting a statement.
Oh, you're requesting a statement.
I'm requesting a statement.
Okay.
Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Trade, Industry and Cooperatives regarding the participation of Kenyan exhibitors in Expo 2025 in Osaka, Japan. Honorable Speaker, the Osaka Expo 2025 is a collaborated event between the Japanese national government, various countries including Kenya, and business from both the domestic and international private sectors. Noting that the Expo provides a unique platform to Kenya to showcase its export products, the Kenyan Export Promotion and Branding Agency, KEPROBA, selected 19 Kenyan companies to participate in promotional activities during the Expo. The Expo began on the 13th of April 2025 and will run up to the 13th of October 2025, and undertook to provide exhibition space. Notably, only representatives from 5 out of the 20 companies traveled to Japan to showcase their products. Shockingly, upon arrival, KEPROBA withdrew the undertaking to provide exhibition space to the companies it had earlier been agreed. This decision has negatively affected the Kenyan companies who had traveled with their products and not addressed stands to affect the export business due to the cost incurred as a result. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Trade, Industry and Cooperatives on the following. 1. Reasons why the Kenya Export Promotion and Branding Agency rescinded its undertaking to provide exhibition space to Kenyan companies to showcase their products at the Osaka Expo 2025. 2. Immediate measures being taken in place to ensure the Kenyan companies in Japan showcase their products during the ongoing Osaka Expo 25. And 3, long-term plans being put in place to enhance promotion of Kenyan products internationally. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. Chair, Trade and Industries in the House. In his absence, then, Leader, you may have to inform the Chair, Trade and Industry.
I will do that, Honorable Speaker.
In 2 weeks?
In about 10 days. They should be able to respond. Yes.
Thank you. Next order, but before the next order, let me acknowledge in the Speaker's Gallery and Public Gallery the following schools. The Deni girls from Mwala, Machakos. Also, we have Emma Rangishu Primary from Rongai, Nakuru. We have Katani girls from Katiani in Machakos. And we also have Nyahururu Highway from Ndaragwa in Nyandarua, in the Speaker's panel and also the public galleries. Next order.
Order number 13, motion. Consideration of report on the examination of financial statements of selected state corporations.
Very well. The honorable member who was in charge of this particular one has recused himself. He is bereaved, and therefore we can put it later on the future order paper. Move to the next order.
Order number 14, motion. Consideration of second report on the status of implementation of the Constitution.
Very well. Chairperson, Constitution Implementation Oversight Committee is in the House. Chairperson, Constitution Implementation Oversight Committee. Leader.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker and esteemed members of Parliament, pursuant to the standing order 199, I rise to table the second report of the Constitutional Implementation Oversight Committee on the status of implementation of the Constitution by 3 critical institutions: the Office of the Controller of Budget, the Commission on Revenue Allocation, and the Office of the Auditor General. The Constitution Implementation Oversight Committee, established under...
Order, Honourable Member. You need to begin afresh by moving the motion. And you can easily read what has been provided on the paper that you have.
Honorable Speaker, I wish to move the following motion: that this House adopts the second report of the Constitutional Implementation Oversight Committee laid on the table of the House on the Tuesday, 24th June 2025, on the status of the implementation of the Constitution by 1. The Office of the Controller of Budget, 2. The Commission on Revenue Allocation, and 3. The Office of the Auditor General. Honorable Speaker, and the esteemed members of Parliament, pursuant to the Standing Order 199, I raised to table the second report of the Constitutional Implementation Oversight Committee on the status of the implementation of the Constitution by the 3 critical institutions, that is, the Office of the Controller of Budget, the Commission on Revenue Allocation, and the Office of the Auditor General. The Constitutional Implementation Oversight Committee, established under paragraph 4 of the 6th schedule of the Constitution, bears the solemn responsibility of overseeing the constitutional implementation. These reports represent our committee's assessment of how these vital institutions are discharging their constitutional mandates and the impediments they face. Honorable Speaker, our engagements have revealed a troubling paradox at the heart of Kenya's governance system. While we have established a world-class constitutional institutions with clear mandates to safeguard public resources and ensure accountability, we have systematically undermined their capacity to deliver on these mandates. The evidence before us paints a picture of institutions struggling to fulfill their constitutional roles, not due to lack of competence or commitment, but due to deliberate structural impediments that render them ineffective. The chronic underfunding of these institutions represents perhaps the most insidious threat to constitutional governance. When the Office of the Auditor General receives a merely 0.2% of the national budget, despite being tasked with auditing 100% of the public funds, we create a system designed for failure. This is not an oversight or budgetary constraint. It is a deliberate weakening of oversight mechanisms that should concern every Kenyan who believes in accountable governance. International best practices recommend at least 0.5% of national revenue for supreme audit institutions. Yet we consistently fall short of this standard while expecting these institutions to deliver miracles with inadequate resources. Equally concerning is the absence of enforcement mechanisms that reduce our oversight institutions to mere commentators rather than guardians of public resources. The Controller of Budget can raise objections to irregular expenditures. The Commission on Revenue Allocation can recommend fiscal responsibility measures, and the Auditor General can flag financial improprieties, but none of these institutions possess the legal authority to compel compliance. This creates a culture where recommendations are ignored, violations go unpunished, and public resources continue to be mismanaged with impunity. The systemic non-cooperation by regulated entities further compounds these challenges. When the county governments deliberately operate unauthorized bank accounts, failure to submit mandatory physical reports, or ignore oversight recommendations, they are not merely flouting administrative requirements, they are undermining the constitutional architecture of accountability. The fact that only 24 out of 47 counties submitted their county physical strategy papers to the Commission on Revenue Allocation, despite clear legal requirements, demonstrates a concerning disregard for constitutional obligations. Honorable Speaker, the consequences of these structural weaknesses extend far beyond administrative inefficiencies. We are witnessing a pending bills crisis worth about 538 billion nationally. Chronic revenue overestimation leading to unsustainable expenditure commitments and wasteful spending patterns that prioritize luxury over essential services. Counties spend hundreds of millions on foreign travel and unnecessary innovations, while medical suppliers and other critical service providers remain unpaid. This is not fiscal management. It is a breakdown of accountability systems that our Constitution established to prevent such excesses. The expansion of audit scope by 917% over 8 years, while resources remain constrained, creates impossible expectations for oversight institutions. We cannot expect the Office of the Auditor General to audit over 12,700 entities effectively, while operating with resources meant for a fraction of that mandate. Similarly, we cannot expect the Commission on Revenue Allocation to ensure equitable development across 47 counties while lacking the authority to enforce fiscal responsibility measures. Perhaps most troubling is Parliament's own neglect of its oversight responsibilities. Despite receiving over 50 performance audit reports from the Auditor General, this House has debated only 2. We cannot demand accountability from other institutions while failing to fulfill our own constitutional mandate to review and act upon audit findings. Honorable Speaker, constitutional implementation requires more than good intentions. It demands structural reforms that empower oversight institutions to fulfill their mandates effectively. The committee's recommendations represent urgent legislative imperatives that this House cannot afford to ignore. We must amend the Controller of Budget Act to grant enforcement powers to remove artificial restrictions on economic reporting. The integration of payment systems between the Controller of Budget and the Central Bank of Kenya would create an end-to-end oversight from budget approval to actual budget expenditure, closing current loopholes that enable financial irregularities, bringing special funds and levies, including the housing levy that collects about 63 billion annually, under proper oversight mechanisms would eliminate the accountability gaps that undermine public confidence in fiscal management. We must also strengthen the Commission on Revenue Allocation Act to include meaningful penalties for non-compliance by the county governments. Constitutional obligations cannot remain optional. They must be enforceable with clear consequences for violations. Honorable Speaker, this House bears primary responsibility for the success or failure of constitutional implementation. Every budget cycle where we underfund oversight institutions while expecting them to safeguard public resources represents a failure of our constitutional duty. Every session where audit reports gather dust without debate undermines the accountability mechanisms that protect public resources. The choice before us is clear, Honorable Speaker. We can either strengthen our institutions through adequate funding and enhance legal authority, or we can continue the current trajectory towards weakened oversight and increased fiscal impunity. The cost of inaction is measured not only in misallocated resources, but in eroded public trust in constitutional governance itself. Honorable Speaker, the Constitutional Implementation Oversight Committee will continue its vigilant oversight of constitutional implementation. However, oversight without power to enforce accountability is mere performance theater. These institutions need Parliament's unwavering support through adequate funding, enhanced legal authority, and recognition of their critical role in safeguarding Kenya's democratic gains. The Constitution we sought to defend establishes clear principles of accountability, transparency, and responsible governance. These principles remain aspirational than operational when these institutions mandated to enforce this lack the resources and authority to do so effectively. Today, this House has an opportunity to transform constitutional promises into constitutional reality. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the Standing Order 199, I lay this report on the table of the House and urge the honorable members to treat these recommendations with the constitutional urgency they deserve. The integrity of our democratic institutions, the trust of Kenyan people, depend on leadership this House demonstrates in strengthening constitutional implementation. So, Honorable Speaker, with all those comments, I wish to ask the Honorable Mulanya to second. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Mulanya.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to second on this particular report. Honorable Speaker, as a member of the CIC committee, we indeed listened to submissions by the three commissions. And one of the things that came out very clear is the issue that there are serious legislative limitations that limit the performance of these particular commissions. And there are recommendations that our committee has given that we need to have amendments so that we give this commission teething power so that they can effectively oversight the performance of this of their functions. For instance, Mr. Speaker, we noted that there was a serious complaint from the Commission on Office of the Commission on Budget Allocation, OCOB. They indicated that they have challenges oversighting the expenditure by county governments. And these are the issue that we have been rising on the issue of pending bills. The county governments will present a request for withdrawal of public funds, but they don't apply to the end use as requested in the application. So those are but now the commission has no powers to follow up and ensure that the county applies the funds as per the request that was made. So these are the issues that the commission requested that this particular house amends the law so that the funds can be channeled to the proper use to avoid the issue of pending bills. We also noted the issue, there were serious issues that were raised on expenditure that you find that most county expenditures are made on renovations and purchase of luxury vehicles. And yet, there are no purchase of supplies on medical supplies. So we note that Kenyans hospitals are suffering. And yet, there is a serious wastage. When the people say that the government has no money, but the money that is available is not put to proper use. These offices were put in place, in particular the OCOB. Initially, the functions were being performed by the Office of the Auditor General. But the drafters of the 2010 Constitution deemed it fit to separate these functions so that we can have proper oversight of these public funds. So, Mr. Speaker, for us to properly oversight these commissions and also give them powers to perform their duties, I propose that we fully adopt this report and ensure that we have proper legislation in place so that the commissions are given the powers and also enough allocation to meet their budgetary needs. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support it.
You second. Give him the mic, he seconds.
I second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Order, honorable members. Order, honorable members. I now propose the question that this House adopts the second report of the Constitutional Implementation Oversight Committee laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 24th June 2025, on the status of implementation of the Constitution by 1. The Office of the Controller of Budget, 2. The Commission on Revenue Allocation, and 3. The Office of the Auditor General. So, who takes the first bite here? Honorable James Jika.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support this report. Mr. Speaker, I just want to make a comment. I've noticed it on many, many occasions. We have extremely important reports come to this House. And many times when we are debating them, we are so few that you wonder whether we actually do them justice. If you don't, this one is obvious as we are now. But I also saw when we had a report which was indicating the employment opportunities in various parastatals. Again, that was an extremely important report. Again, when we were discussing it, it was the same thing. So having said that, Mr. Speaker, I support this. This report is extremely important. It's looking at 3 very important institutions of financial management in the country. It is looking at the Office of the Auditor General, Commission of Revenue Allocation, and the Office of the Budget Controller. Mr. Speaker, that is all the government oversight machineries that we have, really. Not just machineries, but even the allocation of funds. So, if we find, as this committee finds, that actually they have structural impediments that is actually stopping them from achieving what the Constitution intended them to achieve, how do we expect that we will find funds that will go to serve our people? In all the 3 important institutions, the issues that have come out is, 1 is underfunding. That has come across. 2, no enforcement mechanisms. Even if you take those 2, then what does the Auditor General do if they find that there's a problem? There's nothing they can do. 2, they are underfunded, so they don't have the capacity to do what they're supposed to do. The same for Commission of Revenue Allocation. The same for the Office of the Auditor General. Now, they have gone ahead and given examples. For example, the county governments, in the issue to give examples of the effect of lack of enforcement mechanism, that the biggest culprit in the county governments, there is wasteful spending. They have indicated that. The Auditor General will notice that, but that is as far as they can go. Then it is expected that a report to Parliament and Parliament will act. Then they go ahead and say that there is undue delay in handling these audited reports. So basically nothing happens. And if we go particularly in undue delay in Parliament, that grossly affects the funds that go to the county, because by law, we actually allocate at least 15% of the last audited accounts. If you are audited accounts that the audited accounts were done 5 years behind, and that is what you are using to allocate the money, which is far, far different from the revenue that is expected that year. Again, there isn't much we are actually doing. They have indicated that there are misallocations. For example, they said you can find that there are purchase of luxury vehicles. You find that there are innovations. And yet, essential services like medical supplies are not purchased. We read it like that, and it is ended. And when we're discussing this, Mr. Speaker, we are so few, and there isn't much that will go. So we actually shoot ourselves in the foot. So, Mr. Speaker, I can see my time is up, but I think this report is so important, and I support this, and I will call upon the Committee on Implementation to actually take this report, look at what has been recommended, and actually make sure that some action is taken. I commend the chair for bringing this.
Very well. Before we get to the next speaker, let me acknowledge in the presence of the speaker's gallery, Seke Nani Primary School from Narok West constituency, and county is Narok. Also, we have Turiri Primary School from Mara constituency, Tharaka Nithi County. We equally have Olki Lene Second School from Narok South constituency, Narok County. Indeed, Chematia, are you speaking on this? Because as he puts it, Honorable Nikal, this morning I was dealing with the schools that don't exist, which got money in parts of the country, and the controller, the Auditor General raised the matter, and there were many schools, and they are getting up to 50 million, but now it ends there. So are you speaking of this? Oh, very well. Honorable members, there being no further interest on this particular one, I would want to ask the mover to reply.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and thank you, Honorable members who have added their voices to this report. Honorable Speaker, the spirit of the 2010 Constitution was to ensure good governance in this country and prudent utilization of public resources. And I am thinking, going by this report, Honorable Speaker, this House needs to get down and help this country to ensure that the resources that Kenyans pay in form of taxes are properly utilized, by also ensuring that the institutions that we have that ensures accountability, like the Office of the Auditor General, are supported, even by allocating enough resources that will help them undertake their responsibilities, because these are a constitutional responsibility. The idea of giving these institutions more power to ensure compliance is also something that came out very clearly, Honorable Speaker. And I am thinking that the controller of budget, the Office of the Auditor General, required to be given more power so as to ensure compliance and ensure accountability in the expenditure and utilization of public resources. So, Honorable Speaker, I beg to reply.
Very well. The putting of the question shall be deferred to the next sitting. Next order.
Order number 15, motion. Consideration of sixth report on the financial statements for the NGCDF accounts for 3 constituencies.
The chairperson, Decentralized Funds Accounts Committee. I saw him in the House. You are very well. Thank you, honorable members. I'm properly and reliably informed that the report on the same is not yet ready and it's not with the chair, and therefore the same shall be deferred to the next sitting. Honorable members, we may be up standing. Honorable members, and the time being 4:49 p.m., this House stands adjourned until Tuesday, July 29th, 2025 at 2:30 p.m.